Yeah,
All right,
baby.
Gordon Wadsworth, you're a single speed national champ.
Single speed national champion.
Single speed leader of La Ruta de los Conquistadores.
Conquistadores.
Yeah. It is how you say it. It's not Conquistadores. It's Conquistadores.
Conquistadores.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so you are riding a pivot less
the less
bicycle. Tell me all about this bicycle.
Yeah, so it's been a fantastic bike all year. You know, the pivot less. They design it around 100 mil fork, so I run the Fox that it comes with. I ran that a lot. I also run a rigid fork, carbon rigid fork, pretty regularly. Just depending on course. I'm running the rigid here for, you know, climbing, because there's so much climbing down here and you spend a lot of time on some road surface, but it's minimally technical in terms of surface. So that was the decision there. And yesterday I was glad for it. Day one I was glad for it. You can ask me later. I might say I'm glad for it. But yeah, pivot less frame, carbon fiber, 2.9er. Chris King Stan's Crest wheel set, built by the guys at Blue Ridge Cyclery. Been a fantastic wheel set all year long, hasn't skipped a beat. Cockpit is Bontrager mix, ESI custom chunky grips, looking a little brown and muddy today, but the America pattern's on there. We've got XTR brakes, wolf tooth chainring typically. Today it's a 34-18, which is a little stout, I think today. It's a little stout any day, but it's day 3, go big or go home. I'm hoping to outrun the crocodiles today. So that's my plan. But in the back end, again, it's Chris King single speed Pacific hub. I'm running a Chris King cog today, 18, but a lot of times it's Endless Bike Company. I've run the 3221, again, Wolf Tooth Endless all yesterday and day 1.
Right, so Wolf Tooth is a narrow wide.
Is a narrow wide, right?
What's the advantage of using a narrow wide on a single speed where the chain's probably not going to come off?
Yeah, there's not as much retention issue for sure. It's twofold. One is the ability to swap those things really easy because it's a spiderless, so there's 3 Torx bolts inside the crankset that actually makes for a really easy swap, and you can pull stuff off and clean it really easily. It's quiet interface too, versus chainring bolts tend to get creaky and nasty, and you can break them pretty easily. But in general, the bike has been absolutely fantastic. The gear choice has been really flawless all year round, except for probably today. There hasn't been a single day that I thought the gearing selection was wrong or the equipment. The narrow wide. Yeah, the thought process is there is some retention that you get there. If you run any given chain during a 100-mile race, you can get some significant stretch and a little fatigue. So that retention can be. It can make or break. They're also just really well built, made in the USA rings, and I dig on that. So, tire choice has been Bontrager all year long, pretty much. 2.9 or XR2 in the front, a little bit grippier, a little bit fatter, 2.25. In the back, it's usually an XR1, so a little bit racier, a little bit faster rolling, 2.2 typically in the back. There's sometimes a 2.0. Yeah, it's been a fantastic.
So it's probably, Bontrager is not a tire sponsor for you, so that's by choice.
Yeah, I came up through the Trek 2.9er crew, Fisher 2.9er crew, and sort of was a part of that tire progression, so I know those tires really well.
You know how bad they were, and how good they've gotten. They were terrible,
exactly.
Now they're good, apparently.
Yeah, they're fantastic. And I mean, truly, that front tire, the front-rear combo, has seen 5 or 6 NUE races, so they've been super reliable in addition to being a really good tread pattern. So
right, so one more thing, so your bike, it's set up as a single speed, but that frame can be converted to a geared frame? Geared bike?
Yeah, part of the conversation at the beginning of the year that I had with Blue Ridge, who sponsors me as well, was finding a really reliable single speed package. And we had a ton of options at Blue Ridge, and we selected the pivot because the swinger dropout system it's been flawless. It's been really fantastic all year long. It's you get about 4 cogs worth of swing with that. It is QR, but we use a DT Swiss RWS, so it's still super stiff in the back end. Hasn't creaked. It's been incredibly good to adjust to gear. I mean, I would adjust to gear right now. The little the screws in the back end are indexed, so you can line the back wheel up really well.
I just have one more question.
Yeah.
Who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out? I don't know. They're fortunately still in, but they look hungry, so hoping I can outrun at least one of these guys.
Ooh, you got the 3418 on. I think
I ought to be able to outrun a lot of things.
All right, good luck today, man.
Thanks. You, man. Yeah.